Honourable members, we will now proceed with the debate. Please take your seats, and could we have order? I now invite the Honourable Kwankwa.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Reflecting on the impact of what I prefer to call the populist ultra-nationalist policies of the United States of America during President Trump's first term in office, The Economist magazine posed a fundamental question in April 2017 as to whether China was challenging the US for global leadership. They put it as follows, I quote, "The two countries are looking in opposite directions. America away from shouldering global responsibilities, China towards it. And they are reappraising their positions in different ways. Here, like the China administration, the Trump administration is dashing from one policy to the next, sometimes contradicting itself and willing to box any rival it sees, whether perceived or real, I might add. China, tortoise-like, is extending its head cautiously beyond its carapace, taking slow and painstaking steps towards global leadership," end quote. This statement, as you know, President, is as true today as it was when made 7 years ago. Honorable President, President Trump's recent executive actions, predicated as they are on misinformation and unfounded rumors, require us to assess our position in the world, to deepen political and trade relationships with countries who endeavor to shoulder more global responsibilities. To this end, we should reorient our trade priorities towards BRICS countries who constitute approximately 50% of the global population and the African Continental Free Trade Area. We should also use the upcoming G20 summit to advance Africa's interests in global trade and the development of an equitable global order. In this regard, President, I appeal to you to conduct sober and holistic appraisals of our involvement in the DRC and other continental obligations. While talking about the DRC, I must hasten to add that I found the warmongering that took place in the debate here yesterday deeply repulsive. It is easy for politicians to irresponsibly call for war from the comfort of their fancy offices in Parliament, when in fact the consequences of war are too ghastly to contemplate. Borrowing again the metaphor of a tortoise, President, we should continue, despite pressure from the US, to extend our heads cautiously beyond our carapace, taking slow and considered steps in support of the struggle of the people of Palestine in their effort to disentangle themselves from a comprehensive web of oppressive entanglements. Honorable President, as you indicated in your speech, the empowerment of women, youth, and people with disabilities is of paramount importance. It is therefore unpardonable that 30 years into our democracy, coming from one of these groups, vulnerable groups, serves as a fixed impediment to individual success. In fact, for many of these vulnerable groups, rising above one station is an enterprise for only those most courageous and ambitious. The commendable opening of new ports in other provinces, together with the focus of the Secretariat of the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement on guided trade initiatives for businesses of women, youth, and people with disabilities, should help us to create access to markets for businesses of the marginalized groups. In addition, the proposed change in the funding model for municipalities presents an opportunity for rural municipalities which currently have no revenue-raising capacity to use increased budget allocation to resuscitate their failing economies and to support businesses of marginalized groups. However, President, strict measures should be taken to ensure that the restructuring of the funding model for municipalities does not end up in an exercise where we rob Peter to pay Paul. President, while we accept the importance of social grants...
Honourable Kwankwa, your time has expired.
Dear Bulel, I thank you.
I now invite the Honourable